Hey guys, we've just installed some new vertical door hinges, Lamborghini style, on this GT Mustang Convertible, and we're about to show you how we did it. You love your door hinges, mate?
Love it. Awesome job, mate.
No worries, mate. We have this 2017 convertible Mustang here to have us install a vertical hinge kit. This kit is something we haven't installed before on one of these, so you're going to see us attempt to do this. Hopefully we don't run into any problems, but together we'll find out. This kit's just come in from the States and it's supposed to be just bolt-on, easy plug and play. That's what we're hoping for anyway, but you know, there's always little challenges here and there that you can expect, so hopefully not. Hopefully it's just a simple process and we can show you every step of the way so you can do it yourself. Always important to just read the instructions. So it says guards to come off, front guards. Now, removing these guards isn't just as simple as unbolting and pulling it off. You've got to take off, it looks like the lower skirt where the guard tucks in behind that and bolts in behind it. Front bumper we have to release. I don't think we're going to have to take the headlight out. We got some dents here too, just above the badge. It's important to get a little photo of that. So the job's already presenting challenges because of its accident history that we can clearly see. This guard has been screwed on with tech screws and all sorts of different types of hardware, and the boys are just finding it a little bit fiddly. Together they're working it out. All right, with a bit of dicking around, they got the guard off. This is what the vertical door hinge looks like. One hinge for this side, and same for the other side. Just doing a test fit just to see where it actually bolts to. So after removing the guard, the boys are now removing the wiring loom plug that the door plugs into. Cool, all right, so just pop them out. You've got the door all taped up. Is this because you want to release it here without the door falling? Yeah, such a big, heavy door like that. So the actual instructions that you scan actually recommend to do this, to tape the door up. Just making sure, mate.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to go anywhere.
Using a whole roll. So are you guys not actually taking the door off at all?
The door's gonna stay on.
So the door stays there and then you put the hinge in there and bolt it to the vehicle and to the door without removing the door at all? That's, yeah, okay. That sounds really good. I thought that door would have had to have come off to get that hinge on. And
initially, that's what we were thinking, just take the door off, put the hinge on, then align it all.
Yep.
But judging by the tape, everything stays on, so the door gaps all
stays exactly where it is, and hopefully these new hinges just bolt straight in and line up really nice. This little nylon anchor thing in behind that, Lockie's just trying to clamp it with some needle nose pliers while Troy releases it because it's just spinning on itself. Ta-da! That's the little culprit there, eh? Does that go back in to the new hinge? I mean, it sits right through the middle there, and then we've got two anchors on either side of it. So
the new hinge only has these holes.
Oh, so it must be only
so the new hinge only has the two that sit on the side. So we hopefully, we don't have to put that back in. All right, with hinge number 2 off, it's now time to see if we can get our vertical door Lamborghini hinge lined up and bolted on. All right, so they just need the 2 factory bolts that the hinge bolt to the door, top and bottom. To get the hinge flush against the inner door, you need to actually push the wiring loom rubber right into its proper position. Otherwise it obstructs that hinge, so important step. All right, we thought we had this incredibly large gap of about 2 inches between the hinge and the body, but it actually pivots into there. So just keep that in mind when you're installing these guys, that you do have the right side, the left side to the right side, and that the hinge does have adjustments. So it's important to tighten the bolts on the door first before tightening the bolts on the hinge to the body. This way you can adjust it, the hinge up and down if you need to. All right, now that the final hinge to body bolts are being tightened up, we can now move on to putting in the gas struts. Hopefully we didn't have to do that prior, we can do it now. But yeah, it would have been a lot more challenging to do them first, so it should just be a matter of greasing them up, popping them in. and thread locking the bolts in there. So the shoulder bolts, it's important to grease here and then thread lock it before reinstalling it. Just apply your thread lock around the thread. Right, we're going to take this off. We're going to have to put the bottom in to its hole first and then push the gas strut down and then put the thread in at the top. No. All right, that gas strut is far too pressurised to be able to push it down by hand. So we believe that we must have to actually open the door to expand the hinge so we can then put the gas strut in. Round two, we are now putting it in at the top thread. We're going to leave that hinge, that gas strut just sitting there. We're going to untape the door. It's not going to go anywhere. All the bolts are in. Lockie's going to lift the door up and Troy is going to position the gas strut into its housing here, and hopefully that is the job done. Yeah. All right, well, give it a crack and a lift and see if we can get this gas strut in its sleeve. All right, it was doing our heads in as to why we couldn't get this door to raise, but, amateur mistake. We left the door strap in. You've got to take this guy out, otherwise your door's not going anywhere. So you have to cut the guard, do you? We have to do a little guard modification that needs to be cut off here, does it?
Under the drawer.
What was the modification here on this guard?
Have this brackets like something like this, but
All right, so just have to take that one off. Okay. So we've got Lockie loosening while Troy gaps the door on his side. So this is a two-man job, guys. I don't see how anyone could put this style of hinge on their own, at least to do it well and in decent time. But we're at the end of the day. They've started at the beginning of the day and we're still not there. So you can see how much time's involved, even with two guys doing it. In saying that, this is our first time doing it. We haven't done these before, so with anything that you do once, you get faster at it. All right, this little grub screw determines how far you can open your door by winding it in or winding it out. So if you wind that in, it hits the plate behind there, stopping the door at a certain point when it comes out. So you can choose as to whether your door is open far enough to access the inside of your car without having to pull the door up, or if you wind it in so your door only opens so it's not able to get in, you're not able to get into the car, you'll have to always raise your door up to get in. But in this case, we've got the adjustments so that the door can open up far enough naturally for the driver to get in and choose if he wants to lift the door up like that to show the wow factor. But that is adjustable, but to do that you do have to take off your front guard. So always make sure that you've got that to the adjustment point that you want before you put your front guard back on, because that is how it will stay. Troy's just going to demonstrate how far that door opens before it swings up. So as you can see, it opens far enough that you would be able to get into the vehicle. Really is a personal choice how you want to do it. More practical, standard opening, and then just have your little wow factor. We can pull it up and gain that broader access and awesome style and look at a car show. Or you have it so you can't enter the car comfortably without having to raise the door. And same on the passenger side. Once it's up like that, there is like a little bit of play in it. So it swings a bit back and forward. It rests on a rubber like that. So on a really windy day, probably wouldn't recommend having these doors up where it can be blowing them around and potentially bend the hinges. They are very solid looking, strong, well-made hinges from the United States, but still on a really windy day, I would be leaving these doors down. So when that grub screw's tightened in as well and the door can't open as wide, when the door's up in that position, you say it doesn't have as much sway, as much rock.
That's right, yeah.
Is that right? Okay. So that little bit of play that it has is reduced when that grub screw is further in and the door cannot fully open. Just another thing to consider. All right, just to show you this, Troy's just going to screw this little grub screw further in so it's butting up against the hard plate backing. And then he's going to open the door, and you're going to see how far the door will open. And you'll see when it is open how much play is in it when it's in its upward position. All right, now just drop that down, mate, and we'll see how far that door can open. That is as far as the door opens. So yes, you could still squeeze your way through there uncomfortably, but that door only opens about half the way. But that just means that you pretty much got to raise the door every time you get in and out of it. And when the door's up, can you see how much sway it's got for me there, Troy? So not as much play when it's risen from winding in your grub screw. It still has a wobble and a rock as it normally would, but just a lot less. So I guess it's just your choice. Do you want the door so it operates and you can hop in it as normal and raise it? Or do you want it so it has to raise every time and then it has a little bit more stability at the top? Let me know what you think. Well, the boys' first attempt was a huge success, and come on, who doesn't want Lamborghini style vertical doors? They just look amazing, don't they? Such a cool little feature on this car. So at least now we know how to do it. It did take us a little bit longer than expected, just because it was our first go. But once you do anything once, it gets quicker and better and more efficient every time. And so hopefully by watching this, it's going to save you time. Just remember those key first steps you must take. You first remove the front guards, then unplug your wiring loom. Make sure to remove your door strap. That's one we forgot and couldn't work out why we couldn't lift the door up, but very simple solution. Remove this little guy. Tape the hell out of your door. Just go to town, just taping it up so that when you then remove your door hinges and body hinges, that door is not going to move at all. Once the hinges are removed, you can then install your new vertical hinges. It does go straight into the existing bolt holes. It is a plug and play item, but there are a lot of little bit of fiddly bits and things that you've got to try and work out. And unfortunately, it's just a matter of jumping in and doing it, but it does come with instructions. So just really study those instructions and you will get there in the end. I hope this video was in some way able to help you install your vertical door hinges. But now that you know we can do it here, you're also welcome to come and see us. You love your door hinges, mate?
Love it. Awesome job, mate.
No worries, mate. Thanks for your business. I'll see you around. Well, you've got to learn how to shut them now. It's a nice looking Stang.
Thanks, mate.
No worries, buddy. Anyway, I'd like to thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next one.